Welcome to Too Fond of Books. My name is Janelle, and this is my Cloak and Dagger Christmas recommendation video for the Ballroom. I will include my announcement video for Cloak and Dagger Christmas in the cards if you have not seen that yet. That will give you all the information you need about Cloak and Dagger Christmas. So for the Ballroom prompt, this is simply to read a book that has a party in it. And so this is like really wide open. But I decided to provide some recommendations here kind of on two different fronts. So the first one is some recommendations where there is a house party. And then secondly, some recommendations where it is just some kind of party. So birthday party, costume party, whatever. So I want to start with The Affair of the Mutilated Mink Coat by James Anderson. This is from 1981. So this one might be a little harder to find, but it is worth the effort. I reread this in anticipation of doing this video because I love this book so much. It is so much fun. So it is set at the home of the Earl of Burford, his 17th century estate in England, and he has a house party. He finds out that there is a Hollywood director who potentially wants to use his house to film a movie, and the Earl is like, he is a sucker for movies. This is set in the 30s, by the way. So he's super excited to have this director come and look over his house. The director brings his star, who is a Hollywood star that the Earl just really loves. The screenwriter shows up with an assistant. The Earl's daughter invites both her suitors over because she feels like she needs to try and decide between the two of them, and maybe if she has them both at the same weekend she can decide. And then there's some long lost relations that show up from Australia, and so you've got yourself a good old classic country house party. But this is great because it's got mistaken identities and secret passages, and yeah, it's just, I loved it so much. It is lighthearted and funny, and there is a great nod to Golden Age writers and their detectives in here that I really loved. And this could be the book to read for Cloak and Dagger Christmas if you want to read just one book, because this book could be used for so many prompts. So obviously it's for the ballroom, but you could also use it for the dining room because there is a dinner party. They all go to someone else's house for a dinner party in here, as well as being a closed circle mystery. You can use it for the lounge because it is set in the 30s and there are plenty of cocktails going on in this story. You can use it for the kitchen because the estate is just outside of the village and they actually go into the village, and that's part of the story. You can use it for the billiard room because they go horse riding and they also play bridge. You could use it for the library because there is a mention of Golden Age writers and the books within their books. You can use it for the study because there is a Hollywood director, actor, and screenwriter and stuntman in here. And so those are all professions if you want. And if you haven't read James Anderson before, you could also use this for the hall as a new to you writer or series. So what is that? That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 prompts, potentially 8. Like, that is awesome. I think this is the ultimate Cloak and Dagger Christmas book. Aside from that, it's just a lot of fun. So if you are looking for a lighthearted, really fun mystery to read in December, I highly recommend The Affair of the Mutilated Mink Coat. Alright, I also want to recommend The Anatomist's Wife by Annalee Huber. This is the first in her series, in her Lady Darby series. This is set in 1830 in Scotland. and Lady Darby has retreated to her sister's home. Her husband has died, and she has taken refuge in her sister's home because there is a lot of scandal and stuff related to the death of her husband. He was an anatomist. She is an artist, and he basically forced her to draw anatomy drawings for him, and there was you know, a lot of scandal surrounding that. So she has retreated to her sister's home, where there is a house party, kind of for the cream of London society, and of course someone gets killed. We are also introduced to Sebastian Gage, who is an inquiry agent. This is a great series. I really like it. It's very well written, really good mysteries, great characters, and really interesting historical time period stuff. And so yeah, I can highly recommend this series. And then finally, for House Party, I want to recommend Murder for Christmas by Francis Duncan. This was written in 1949, and as a bonus for you, it's a Christmas mystery. It's set at Christmas. So the main character is Mordecai Tremaine, who is invited to a country house on Christmas Eve, and they discover a dead body under the Christmas tree dressed as Father Christmas. So it's great. It's the, you know, country house party, closed circle of guests at the house, and so you can use this again for multiple prompts. I really enjoyed this. I enjoy the character of Mordecai Tremaine. And it was just a really fun mystery, and I am looking for more from this author because I really did enjoy it. And then as recommendations just for a party, I want to recommend The Bloodied Cravat by Rosemary Stevens from 2002. This is part of her Beau Brummel mystery series, so these are set during the Regency. Beau Brummel is a historical person. He was a real person. He was famous for kind of setting the style for men during the Regency. He was all about the proper clothes, especially famous for his cravats. He and his valet would spend hours crafting the style of the cravat, the piece of cloth that he wore around his neck. He was friends with the Prince Regent. So anyway, this is a fun little historical cozy series where Beau Brummel is the main character, and in the Bloodied Cravat, he is invited to a birthday party. So yeah, this is a fun series if you want to try a historical mystery series. And then I also want to recommend The Birth of Blue Satan by Patricia Wynn from 2001. This is the first in her Blue Satan series, and this is set in 1715. So a little, definitely earlier than The Bloodied Cravat. This is a great series. I really like this series. The main characters are Blue Satan, who is a highwayman, and Mrs. Keene, who is a housekeeper. It is set during the Georgian time period, and Gideon Viscount St. Mars returns home from a 3-year grand tour on the continent to find that his father, the Earl of Hawkhurst, has been banished from court. And Gideon ends up being falsely accused of murder. And what's great here, and why I'm recommending this here, is that Gideon is attending a ball in a ballroom. Perfect, right? And that's where he discovers that his father has been murdered, and Gideon is the prime suspect for that murder. And so in order to protect himself and give himself time to investigate, he disguises himself and becomes the blue Satan, the highwayman. And this is just it's a well-written historical mystery with great characters and really good stories. I can highly recommend the Blue Satan series, and for the Ballroom, The Birth of Blue Satan, because it describes a ball and some prime parts of the story happen during the ball. And then my Agatha Christie recommendations are the Seven Dials mystery from 1929. This is one of her early kind of adventure stories. Superintendent Battle, I believe, is introduced in this one. And murder happens at a country house party. The house is chimneys, and the guests are all kind of the bright young things. A group of their daughter's friends are all at the house for this particular mystery. And then for an Agatha Christie that takes place during a party, we have The Mirror Cracked from Side to Side from 1962. This is a Jane Marple mystery, and the murder happens at a village fete at the big house. And this one is good. This one is a great Marple mystery. And then also Halloween Party from 1969. This one is a Poirot, and also Ariadne Oliver is in this one, and the murder happens during a Halloween party. So there you have it, my recommendations for the Ballroom. I hope you found something that intrigued you in these recommendations. And yeah, I would love to hear, once you, if you're participating in Cloak and Dagger Christmas, and I hope that you do, I would love to hear about the books that you are planning to read for Cloak and Dagger Christmas. Even if you just want to read one book, I would love to hear about that. So if you want to include that in the comment section down below, that would be great fun. And I will see you for another video very soon. Bye.